Well, okay. I'm at my the dump site, and right off the bat, I see a few hubcaps. Now, how did I get into this hubcap thing? I don't know, but they now interest me, considering that hell, they don't make them that big anymore. So I'm on this dump site. You can see there's bottles here. They're not old. These, actually, I don't have any interest in this age of glass. Screw cap tabs. We're over here. The the forever crazy 60s Mountain Dews. So I'm gonna go off and find a place where I can find a little older stuff. Take my hubcaps with me. Here you see, what's this? This even has a cap on it, but it's a it's a 60s Pepsi. So I'm off, and I'll turn you on when I come across something worthwhile. Here we go. Here's something you don't see every day. A surfboard in the middle of the woods. This dump looks like it has a little bit of everything, so I'll be expecting to find a whole car maybe here. So my first find, which is pretty cool, it's not in bad condition. It's a surfboard. What can I say? Let's keep going. Well, this dump here is not old, but it's at the time period of what I'd expect. There's a milk broken, and I saw the piece of what it was before, so I came to the realization that there might be milk bottles in here. Haven't found any soda bottles so far. This lid, which is sort of cool. This medicine, which is nothing. A lot of whiskey bottles as usual, because that's just the way it is. Here's another milk jar. This is generally a spice jar, so I'll keep that. That's a nice little thing from this time period, which I'm assuming is still late 40s, early 50s. I think it's mostly late 40s right here, considering the fact that I'm finding a lot of those type of jars, and these kind of, well, here's something that's embossed. What's it say? Oh, it's a modern Capardine. So these Capardines are prolific. They're all over, but in this time period, okay, is this what I think it is? Huh? No, it's a flashlight that's been burned, but I'm not going to mention what it looks like to me. I guess they might have had them in these days, but thank goodness that's not one of them. But yeah, you have some Carnival, some glass like this. So this little section here is presentable. I'm hoping to find a soda bottle in this time period. If I do, it should be a good one. It should represent the time period. Then this dump is massive in areas, and then it's sparse in others. So I don't know what this is right here. You can see I'm in the middle of weeds, of course, and there's a zinc lid which we'll keep because they are good to keep. They are nice. I have mason jars that I collect, so they fit them. They're generally one size fits all, but you can see there's bottles all over here. There's another, I don't know what that is. Might be a milk, I don't know. But I'm coming through a lot of roots and other things because I'm in, of course, these where people threw stuff away. I guess it led it to become very overgrown. Well, at any rate, I'm going to keep going, and if something nice shows up, I'll show you. So let me go. I'll keep going next. Just to show you the potential of some of these dumps, look at the size of that orange crush. Now, it's a 40s, but still, that's really would have been a great bottle. I don't find orange crush that size. They just don't survive, as you can see. They just don't. And here's a milk right here, and that's a Borden. So Borden's was a national brand, and so I'm surprised I didn't find any so far, but that orange crush is that's the first heartbreaker so far, and if I can find anything comparable to that, that would be nice. I don't know what this is. There's a milk, and it's embossed. What's it say on it? Well, it's broken, of course, but why? And there it is. There's the other, here's the corner of it. Why that would be broken, I don't know. But the good bottles always, the collectible bottles always are the ones that are broken, and the stuff that is total junk, like this, survives. I still don't understand the logic in this, but hopefully if there's one good bottle alive, there should be several others. Here's a little medicine. Well, let me finish this little area up, and then I'll go on to bigger and better pastures. A couple of teasers there, I can tell you that. So that's the game here. I'm not knocking myself out over this. Believe me, I don't need too many more bottles. Every time I bring a bottle home, my wife hits me with that standard question, where are you going to put it? Because I've run out of room practically. But, okay, let me keep going. Okay, so I've been stumbling around in this 40s, 50s dump place, and not coming up with much. What's weird though is I just stumbled onto this Campbell's 19 World War I machine-made bottle, and you can see it turning purple. It's here in this dump that is, to me, it looks like everything here is from the 50s. And I mean, there isn't anything here that is going to strike my interest. This is a Hazelton Atlas. That's nothing worth. But the late throws that are around here may come up to be something more, I don't know. I mean, you got this. Here's a big Coke. It was the kind that had the pyro on it, and it is gone, of course. For the damp weather causes the pyro to disappear. Here, this is some other kind of bottle, soda. Looks like 67. I don't know, I wouldn't doubt it. Double cola, a late double cola. So, and here, no deposit, no return. Whatever that is. So at any rate, I'm going to keep walking around here, see what I can pick up, if I can find anything other than this junk. I may have to just go to another site that I do know there are some half decent stuff. I never would have imagined that even in my lifetime that I would run out of places to find antique bottles. I started out, they were all over the place. Every bottle you found was an antique. You know, the landfills of the 60s and 70s were like this. This is sort of rural style. It was open for a long time, which by the mid-60s, most landfills were closed to the public and no burning. This one was a little behind its time, so that's why I'm in it. But whether I'll get lucky is, I don't know. Let me keep going. So there we have a late old Campbell's reliable ketchup. Now, let me show you what you got to be careful of when you're... There he goes. He's a little... He's upset. He's trying to find a place. Do you see him? That's him. My little friend. And he, my friend, is a copperhead. Young one, but just probably as poisonous as a grown-up one. So we're gonna leave this guy to his devices. He's getting back into the hole, and I'm not gonna mess with him because I don't want to get bit. So let's go off to another place. I mean, you got to deal with copperheads. They're all over. So let's go off to a less snaky area. Well, I switched to another area, another dump area, because the other place didn't work out. It was just a little too 60s for me. This dump here goes to the 40s, definitely. So I'll find something here. Oh, here's something right off the top. Little bonjour. So I'll throw that in there. I know people who want them. And then there's these jar Noxime, although that's not very good. Okay, so let me find something and show you when I get to it. Okie doke. Well, I know how people enjoy marbles, so this one I just dug up. It's a cat eye. You can see that. Smaller, but they are smaller in this area. Marbles don't get very big, but a blue cat eye, pretty little marble. So we've got some marbles here. we'll just do some live digging and see what this is. This is a milk, and it's probably unembossed. It has lettering on it, but whether that will last, I don't think it will, but it might, so we're going to keep it anyway until. That's good, a little milk. Get in here. I'm at the bottom, so anything above this area is going to be, I feel something else in here. There's just a lot of brown bottles are common. I mean, there's so many common bottles in the world that this digging becomes a labor of love and not just. And I'm not really working myself to death, although today I walked about 3 miles in that other dump just to find out that it really didn't turn out to be anything. So let me keep digging, and if I come up across something else, you'll be the first to know. Well, I've been digging a little bit here, and what is a Dr. Pepper. If nothing else, you're going to find a Dr. Pepper, and they're usually in one piece because they're heavy as hell. So there we go, a Dr. Pepper here, right down in the sand layer, which is generally where the older stuff is. But you don't know. See, this stuff, this bottle, these bottles are like, if there's a Dr. Pepper, there's probably more soda somewhere around in here. Gosh. This is a Blue Bayou bottle. I don't know what that was. But I found a marble. I found Dr. Pepper. So, right in par with the 50 celebration, the late 40s or whatever. I'm digging out what I'd caved in here. There. You're looking at it. You're looking at what I'm looking at. And what I'm looking at here is, I don't know. That's a shoe, I can tell you right now. Plastic bottom shoe. And here's a bottle coming out, a jar. Okay, well that was it for now. Let's keep looking at what. Wow. I don't see anything right now. The jar. It gets sort of shallow over here, so there's not much stuff up in the top here, but like I said, the stuff up here isn't old. So I got a little bit more to go, and I'll let you know what happens. Well, this is a local bottle, and it's a Peters, and it looks like it's in good shape. So I'm gonna take this. This is a good indicator of the early 50s. Where am I at here? Okay. We got a layer here, so stuff's coming out. So I'll show it. Show you what's here. Mostly window glass, a lot of other kind of trash. There's a little green bottle. Who knows what that would have been. There's another jar. I'm so sick of those things. I mean, there are so many of them. I mean, jars were the go-to container for people. And you stick your junk in the jar. There's something there. What's that? Broken. Whew. The beers came out from out of here, so I don't know. It's possible there's other sodas in here. There's something right there. What's this? Oh, a Calvin whiskey. Pretty common. Very common, as a matter of fact. I don't recommend them for collecting. They're just, unless they have a label on them and you're really into whiskeys, then I don't buy it. Okay, well, I'm seeing nothing so far, so well, yeah, there's, like I said, jars to the left of me, jars to the right of me. Coca-Colas, there's plenty of them made, but you know what? In the end, Coke's quality control wasn't the best, so a lot of their bottles never really survived, believe it or not. I find thousands of them, but very few are in any good condition, and the ones that are, you know, you don't want them because they're not old. You know, they're what I call the Cokes from the 50s, and that's not my thing. Okay, let me keep going. If something cool shows up, this might be the last post though, because I'm burning out and I don't see much here, so let me try one more time. Well, this just came falling out of here. It is a red rock, and it looks like it's in good shape. If you can see it, I'm sorry. We didn't know where I was putting this camera. But there you have a red rock. It just came out. I've got a... So there you have it. This red rock just came out of here. This is a pretty deep layer. You can see. A lot of jars, and there's more glass down here somewhere. What the heck is that? Probably window glass, probably from, I found a lot of that. You know, car glass. Now, this of course is going to be nothing. It has its label still, but who wants it? But the red rock came out of here, so there's still stuff coming out. I keep hitting that glass, I don't know. This is a little basket. I don't know what it is. I've got this thing on. I don't know how to get it off of it's magnified, so you're getting a good look at this stuff. Magnified red rock. That's in good shape, actually. I found this too. This little half of a pig bank, but it doesn't appeal to me. It does not appeal to me. So I'm leaving it. What's this? Of course, ketchup. Ketchups are as bad as jars. I mean, I picked one up earlier today at the 50s dump, but that was just because it was totally out of place. I mean, what's a turn of the century bottle doing at the dump from the 1950s? I mean, I could see a 1940s, but give me a break. There's another one of those. You seen that? That was See these things. They're terrible. Okay, let me go one more time, and then I will see you later. Bye. Okay, I've got a loaded layer here. I'm gonna try to do this as best I can. Okay, as you can see, there's bottles all through here. I've got this big, I don't know what this is, drain tile, but here you go. You got a honey jar, you got that, you got whiskey bottle, broken, that broke. You've got, this looks like a, of course, what did I say? Coca-Colas. They suck. They're probably the worst made soda bottle there is. So if you're lucky to find a Coke in any piece, yeah, you're lucky, because they don't, especially later they get, the worse they are. Here's a jar. Oh, with that, we don't need that. And then we go down here in the sand. And there are bottles here, but there's also that piece of nasty glass. So get that out of there. And here we go again. Now, there's a large prescription med. No good. Let's go here. This is, hey, we got a double cola. That's cool. And we got, of course, our wonderful broken Cokes. These, I'm sick of seeing them broken Cokes, because they are, but this double cola is in great shape. So I'm happy with that. Put that up there for now. And let's see what else is in here. You can see there's bottles. Can you see? I can't keep my eye on the camera because it's constantly, my arm is constantly moving. And oh, there's a glass. These glasses are cool. I don't particularly like them. There's the bottom of that Coke, and you can see it's nothing much. These little cork tops, people get excited, but that's just a shoe polish bottle. It's nothing to write home about. Let's see over here. Nothing. Another jar. It's down there. Left all the way down here. Up all the way down. Some painted glass and what's that? That's like a toy telephone. That's what that is. A toy telephone. Just a toy, folks, nothing real. And of course, wherever you find bricks, that's a good sign. Believe it or not. Well, I'm about done. Let's find one more bottle here. What's this one right here? It's the famous ketchup. Well, that's it, folks. I'm signing off now. This is the end of the line for me today. I'm gonna continue this some other time when I've got more gumption. But oh, we got another bottle here. Oh, this is This is a Hires, and they usually don't have any embossing or anything. That's just a Hires. I think it's on the bottom, actually. Yeah, it says Hires, but I don't need it. So there you have it, folks. What's this one? Another junker. Okay. Well, that's it for now, and we'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, I'm going to do a little quick roundup of what I found today with the help of my dog. If we can just get her out of the picture here for a minute. Yeah, this is a hunt that took about 3 days, over a 3-day period, and the things that I ended up finding wasn't really satisfactory as far as I'm concerned. I am used to finding a lot older bottles and artifacts, and so this is a bit of a disappointment. Now, some of these came from a dump that I actually discovered from an aerial view, and as far as I can see, it hasn't been looked at or touched by people in years. Definitely not dumped there since the probably early 60s, and primarily that's what I was finding on the surface. I dug a couple of holes, and as you can see, I've discovered more than bottles in one of them. But let's go and look at what I found, and I'll drop a little commentary on dump digging in general. The first, of course, are Coke bottles, and this is a D-Pat, and this one is looks to me to be a 1950. I found this at the dump at the area that I discovered through the aerial views, and the area was surveyed around 1950, 51, I think the aerial view was, and was taken. And so I'd expect to find bottles of that age and older. Unfortunately, I found very few bottles of that time period, and the bottles I did find were sort of, they looked like they were misplaced. Maybe they were thrown there, or they were late throws. So this Coke is, of course, a local one, and it's a 1950 Pat D. So is this one. Another same. This is a date, if you can look. I do this so people who are just starting out doing this kind of thing will know what to look for when they're wanting to date the bottles. This looks like a 40, I don't know, I can't focus too well. 47 maybe, 40, around the time period that that dump was probably created, from late 40s to about 1960. Let's round it off to that. So, and the other one is, this is a post office patent. You see the bottom has usually this arrow line with an arrow, and it gives you the town. In this case, this is Atlanta, and it will say post office patent, or it will say U.S. patent office. And this dates roughly, they don't usually have, they ended up using this date, and this date here you're going to look at from the post office patent. You look to the left and not to the right of the actual date, and I don't know, that looks like $1960, and that makes sense. So the JoJo is a great local bottle, and it's a 50, definitely made in the 50s, and it's pretty much heavily embossed. It's almost like a try-me. I'm surprised I didn't see any try-me's this go round, but This is rarer than a Try Me, and because it's, I think, local and was a chocolate drink, I believe, it makes it a little bit more special. The bottom doesn't give you much information outside of the fact it's very poor quality as far as the embossing is concerned. And 66 maybe. Oh, that's possible. I don't know these bottles that well. Again, like I have reiterated before, this is not my time period of collecting, so I've studied more about 19th century bottles than I do 20th century bottles. So some of this stuff, I'm finding out the information as I've come across it. This is an interesting bottle, and it is Undertaker's Supply. These are always fun to find, and it's the Glassworks, I think, is it's a Keystone. There should be a lettering in there. I'm not quite sure what the company is. It's Pennsylvania, probably Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh Glass Company. And it's a Mortician's bottle. It even tells you right there, Mortician. These are collectible, and they're all the way up until they look the same all the way up and through the 50s. So you're going to find a tall square bottle, sometimes ornate like this one, sometimes just with this embossing on it, some with just the numbers on it. So just keep in mind, when you find a bottle in the standard size like this, we mentioned about how as we go into time, later on the bottles become very standardized. You can just look at it without any label and probably tell that it was a ketchup, a syrup, or whatever. And this is the same instance here with these bottles made for the Mortician trade. Now, the ever prevalent, this came from these dumps. That was from the same dump that we're talking about, the one I discovered in the middle of nowhere. And then this bottle and that last post office Coke came out of another dump that I'm digging out. It's several houses dumped in one spot, and they go back to the mid 40s, and this is the stuff I'm finding, mid 40s to early 50s. And here's no name Dr. Pepper, a debossed one, very common bottle, but people like them. Here's a Red Rock. I sprayed it a little bit so the paint wouldn't come off. These things are notorious for losing their paint, but this one has enough of it that you can tell what it is and where it was bottled. This is a Savannah, Georgia bottle, but it's of course, in real bad shape, being a pyro. I'm developing a lot of respect for the pyro glazed bottles. If you find them in great condition, if they were in barns or in under houses, you're lucky. They just don't survive after 50 years in the ground, and it really shows. Here's a double cola. This one is an early one, though. Door glass, probably late 40s, and because it's embossed on the neck. The 50s and the 60s, they don't have any embossing, but this does have embossing, even if the pyro is crapped out. But you can see, most of the label. So I got sort of lucked out. It did have a red background behind that. It was white lettering, but the red doesn't survive. This, I don't know. I just picked it up. It's a money back bottle, one of the last ones they made probably, and you can see there's not. I think it's a 64, which puts it in the range of the pyro design. Suncrest, very local bottle. I mean, they were pretty much all over the South, but this bottle, before the pyro glaze went off. It was, I don't know. Did it say? Yeah, it is a Savannah, so not much there. And unfortunately, this poor little guy, it lost most of its pyro glaze. It was in a net, and it had a little nursery rhyme. These are what might be considered a school bottle, a school milks. Kids would put them in their lunch pails and bring them to school. And they were designed for children because on this side there was a nursery rhyme with Little Jack Horner or whatever, and it all rubbed off. But still in all, if you're really into dairies and want to know what this dairy was, you can see that it is right there. This bottle tells you a lot of information. It's a dairy. It's and a dairy. It looks like it was a 40. Let's see what year is that? Looks like 46. And Duraglass puts it in between 40 and 46. So there you have a local milk, which is worth my while to keep. Pretty much that's it. I found a few other things. This ancient age decanter. This ancient age decanter, made in the 60s. Nothing really great. Some jar lids. A nice old jar from another separate dump. And this weird religious candle bottle from the 60s, I assume. Santolite. They had a candle probably for praying at, who knows, I'm not religious, so I can't really talk in with a lot of knowledge on that. And those hubcaps. Now, if you know what these hubcaps are, I think this one might be a Chrysler, but I'm not sure. Why I'm keeping these things, well, I don't know. They don't make them anymore. The rims today are totally different. These covered your hub and your wheel, and they flew off your car a lot back in the day. There were a lot of them laying on the side of the road when I was a kid. And this is where they come back from. So there you are. Have a little short review of so far what I found exploring. I'm going to keep on going and see if I can get some older stuff. It's hard. My commentary about dumps and trash is that it's disappearing quickly. Since the internet, I guess, I don't really know, people have got out there and just looked for anything just to get on the internet, I believe. That's a motive, I believe. Because 20 years ago, there weren't half this many people interested in going out and digging for bottles. A few, but not many. It's just exploded. Either it's that instant gratification that you're on that a lot of people are looking at you, or that you think, you're achieving something. It's not for me to say, but as far as the dumps are concerned, they're disappearing quickly. In 20 years, you won't be able to find anything decent unless unless no deposits become real big, and I can never go into that. The 60s, 55, I'm pushing it. I'll be honest with you. I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, this is stuff I didn't clean up. That's a Avon bottle. There's a Capardine from the 40s, I believe, because they stopped embossing in the 50s. There's some lids to mason jars, glass lids. You can use these again. They're worth taking if you find them. These Milk and Magnesias, Phillips, no embossing. They stopped embossing these things in I think in 38 or 36 or something. This is a compact. There was a lid on here. I thought this was a lid, but apparently the stuff in here is powder or soap. I don't know. Face cream or something that's deteriorated. I never found the bottom of it. But it can make a lid for something else. So, but that's the junk. I mean, this stuff is going in back into the hole. So maybe I'll get lucky. It's fun anyway. I love doing it. Just exploring in the woods. You don't know what you're going to find. In the video, I get up close to nature, so that's always a positive thing. So there you go. Hope you're enjoying your day. I will talk to you soon. I will be out there next with more weird stuff. Bye.